Hello, how you doing, sir?
Hello,
All
how are you?
right.
Nice to meet you.
My name is
Pleasure.
Kwame. Yeah, all
All
right.
right.
I got a question for you.
Sure.
I have a property listed with another brokers right now, but I'm not really happy with that dude. You know, anyway, I'm thinking about making a change.
Okay.
Could you help me out with that?
Listen, so let's start with what is it that possibly you're unhappy with your current agent?
Well, I got a question. Quick question.
Sure.
Will you produce your commission?
Did your last realtor, did they reduce their commission?
Well, yes, he did. Yeah.
And you're unhappy with them, right?
I'm unhappy with that.
Okay. So we'll start right there. We'll kind of leave it there. I think you get what you pay for when you're looking at this, right? Any realtor, I think, worth their salt is going to give you a return on investment with that too. So,
Okay.
So with that being said, you know, it's something that I think that we do bring the value, and reducing the commission might not be the way for you to go.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Hey, I got another question for you. Okay, my roof is 22 years old. Do I have to replace it?
We have to take a look at it. It depends on what type of roof it is. As we just learned, terracotta, 75-year lifespan.
Oh,
So it could be a third of the way through its life. That's it. It could be young.
Okay.
But we
okay.
would need to take a look at it. Depends. What type of roof is it?
It's actually terracotta.
Fantastic.
There you go.
Good to
All
go.
right, beautiful.
That's a baby.
beautiful. Well, thank you. Thank you so much. So, let me think about it. But thank you very much for your time, and that's about it, folks.
Man, you taught the hat. Man, you taught the hat.
All right. Do I do the other
Oh, you want to do mine?
Yeah,
I'll
I'll do the other one.
All right. All right.
Do you want to do feedback now?
We can do
Please,
that.
yes.
Okay.
All right.
I really liked how he talked about value when he was asked about cutting his commission. He never really directly answered the question,
Yeah.
which I thought was very, very good.
Thank you.
I like the way he handled it.
Awesome.
You get what you pay for.
It does throw you back on your heels a little bit.
Yeah.
And that first question, you're like, I don't even know you or what you have or
Right,
what we're gonna do
exactly.
together yet.
Exactly.
So
Like what you said though, he asked him, he put it back in his.
yeah, give yourself a minute.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm educating myself, but how do you get rid of the other realtor?
How do you get rid of the real?
Yeah,
Well,
that
you
you
just,
don't like.
I mean,
I mean,
That's
if
a
you're
good
not-
question.
Okay, so
That
that
depends.
was, is it in the listing with them? Do you have a contract already or
So,
what do you do to follow up?
Mark and Michael, you guys have the same question, right?
No.
You guys,
No, you
no, you don't. Who,
We
did somebody,
switched
oh, we
it.
switched it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So we don't.
Does anybody else have that same question? Okay, so that was one thing that I would have addressed. I think in addition is the fact that they are coming to you and they do have another realtor. So just the fact that we are realtors and we abide by a code of ethics, I would push back just a little bit and say, if you do have an exclusive relationship with another realtor, I can't proceed with you. We can, we can talk for a minute, but if you part ways with them, if your listing expires, or if you and that broker, if they release you from your listing agreement, then we can move forward. So, because I don't want to step on their toes and I wouldn't want someone to do that to me, but I'll answer your question,
That's right.
here's my card if you happen to ever need a realtor or whatever.
Can you give a couple suggestions too? Can you say, listen, has your realtor done of these things? And say first off, I cannot be your realtor. However, you may want to go back and ask your realtor if they've done open houses, put out some marketing, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And then say, go back to your realtor and have a conversation with them.
I think that's where he
That's
was,
like friendly shade.
That's what I,
Yeah.
well, I actually had a phone call from somebody that was very upset, and I said those things. I said, I cannot be your realtor, you have an agreement. I said, however, I would go back to your realtor and ask them if they've done these things. And I just ran a little list in my head of things that, you do for your listing, and then.
do you have professional
And
photos?
then, right, I said, I looked it up and they did not. I said, your listing does not have professional photos. I said, I would get professional photos and I would do some marketing. And I said, but I can't go further with you because you have an agreement with them and I'm not allowed to go. And I didn't diss that person. I didn't say
Right.
they were bad.
Right.
Like, I didn't say anything mean about them. I just said, looking at your listing, there are no professional photos, and have they done any of these other things? And then I said, thank you very much, goodbye, and hung up the phone.
Can you guide them a little bit, just say, hey, if you're unhappy and I know you're gonna, fire them, give me a call back, but you can't guide them.
Yeah, as gently as you can. Think about how, I mean, from an ethics perspective, would you want someone to do that to you? Because people get upset with us, even
Right, and
as
I
perfect
wouldn't,
as we
right,
are.
and I didn't say anything mean about them.
Yeah.
I didn't say, oh my God, I can't believe they didn't do this, what's wrong with them, you know?
And I think Tim was on that track
did it
when he
good.
said, why are you unhappy with
Right,
your
yeah.
realtor?
Yeah.
Because once you identify that problem, well, I haven't had any showings, or I just don't like their attitude, or whatever they say, then you also are learning more about the customer, and if you want to actually work with them too, and what problems they're having. Oh,
So
and you
tight.
got your price way up here, and whatever. So before you waste too much of your time,
Right.
I would address that. And if you and your agent or broker do part ways, I'm here. You know where to find me. Yeah. Nice to meet you, right?
And I think it's important that we have to be able to print an expired listing on that address.
Right.
Before we can move forward to do anything.
Right, we've had people tell us, somebody came in the west side and did exactly this the other day. Oh, no, well, you can just list it. And she said, no, I can't, it's not expired.
Oh,
And
wow.
he knew everything, so, yeah.
Okay.
Well, they don't read
But
any
you guys
of
wanna do your other one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good job on the first one.
All right, Mr. Kwame.
Yes.
We bought our house in Grove Park 4 years ago for $190,000. What do you think it's worth today?
Well, 4 years ago, 190,000. To be honest, I would have to come out and see the property, okay? Because I don't know exactly what you've done to the property. Have you made any upgrades?
Sure.
You know what the neighborhood looks like. It would be it's a process, but it's cool because it's free. You know, it's a CMA. I can come out there and do it. Let's set up a time.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, second part too. We just saw a new construction home, and we want to move quickly before we miss out.
Oh, that is smart. You're right, because these new construction homes are going up pretty fast, you know. And this is something that I want to put in your what's the word I'm looking for?
Court.
Your court. Okay. Which do you want to do first? Do you want to purchase the new home first, or sell the old home first, or kind of do it at the same time? What do you want to do?
I don't know. I'm open, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not sure exactly how that totally works out, I suppose.
I'm lost.
No, you're not.
I have a. That's a great.
Stan.
Oh,
Stan.
I will hook you up. I will introduce you to our mortgage, Watson Mortgage. You know, we have a whole family of services here. There you go. We have a whole family of services. I'm doing it for the camera. A whole family of services here, and I'll introduce you to our mortgage guy. See, I'm gonna cut the rest of that.
Yes.
So how would that work out for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Okay.
then, we'll just kind of go from there then.
Yeah, thank you. So, cool. I'll introduce you to our mortgage guy, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Awesome.
Anything else?
No, that's the rest of the question.
Yes, beautiful.
Doesn't he want to stop him from going to the new construction place?
You wanna go with him?
You want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
Oh my
You need to
goodness.
go with him,
Yeah.
otherwise.
There you
Yeah,
go.
good point,
Good
good point.
Right,
Good
right, right.
point.
I didn't mean to
Neighboring
point.
call.
No, that's all right.
Failure.
All right,
Good point.
what's up, Mark?
Here's what else I would do on that. So if you have a guy looking at new construction and wants to sell and kind of wants to move fast, offer him an opportunity for offer pad open door, because you can still get commission on the offer
there
pad
you
open door, while giving him an opportunity to get out quick to buy that new construction.
Oh.
Because a listing now could be 30, 60, 90 days,
Mhm.
and you could ultimately miss it on the new construction that's built and ready to go. So give them kind of options to get out fast, or check and see if they have money to buy that without selling this one too.
But let them know you will curate that
All of it.
solicitation of an offer, because somebody did that the other day, and they were gonna set up the offer
Yeah.
pad request and help buy the new house, and the customer got all excited, and they requested the offer pad offer without the agent. Like they were trying to do right and speed things
Yeah.
along, and then he sold them this one, but he missed out on the offer pad thing, which you know, it was like, dang it. So let them know, I got you.
Yeah, I'll take care of all of this for you. This is what I do for a living.
Okay.
Good job, guys.
Isn't there like a knock loan, not to put you out of the market stand, but isn't there loans for people who have enough equity where you can actually go buy the new?
Yeah.
Like
easy
a
enough.
bridge loan or
But
something?
a new construction
Well,
probably
that's-
doesn't work that way.
Our Watson Cash Advantage crashed about 6 months ago, so that part of the market is kind of on the wayside right now.
Okay.
Or something.
But we have Easy Knock. We're still partnered with Easy Knock, and Easy Knock does that. Easy
Yeah,
Knock.
we did have that.
So the hard part with builders is builders want you to use their lenders, no offense to Stan, but they give super incentives to
Yes.
use their lenders. So
Yeah,
you're kind of,
You're paying for it.
it's a
yeah,
double-edged
it's a
sword.
double-edged
You're
sword,
paying for
but, yeah, it's
Well,
kind of that
Yeah, but I would start with Stan because then he
for
knows,
pre-approval.
oh,
Right.
well, I could get into this, you know, new house with like no
Yeah.
money and then I could just sell that one later, put it on the
Yeah.
market, get
And-
more,
Get more
what
money.
your plan is gonna come from what he says.
And I honestly would rather them get pre-qualified first, just in general, so
Right.
I know, because
I
you know with
want
the new construction, they're gonna make you wanna get pre-approved anyway. So
Yeah,
I'd
sure.
rather you know with someone I trust and then move forward into going with
True.
that.
We're gonna do the same thing.
And something important to find out from the builder is,
Hi, I'm interested in buying a condo in Fleming Island because the schools are so great. I've been pre-approved with Poughkeepsie loans for up to $3,000 with a conventional loan. Can you help me get
I
started?
absolutely can. Well, congratulations getting pre-approved. That's awesome. Fleming Island is a lovely area. There are plenty of different areas that we could look at and look for. And there are a lot of other areas in the surrounding areas that have wonderful school districts as well. So tell me a little bit about the, do you have your loan approval letter?
Yeah, here it is. It's from 6 months ago.
Oh, okay. Well, at this time, unfortunately, after reading it, if you can look right here, it has a date of when it expires, and unfortunately, we're past. And while it's amazing and wonderful that you did get pre-approved with Poughkeepsie loans, I feel like a local lender would be beneficial to you. They are more in tune with the local market here, and they also understand the lingo. So for instance, here we have CDDs, and a lot of outside
What's a
lender,
CDD?
community district development. Put me on the spot here.
We didn't roleplay that.
No, we did not. So they would understand the lingo more. Things that we have that upstate New York, Poughkeepsie area just doesn't have, the proration of taxes since we pay our taxes in arrears. The fact that we have HOAs and they put out letters saying that, you know, that we have estoppel letters, it's what it's called. So those are things that a local lender would understand. If we run into any issues, it's easier for us to communicate. Talking about areas, once again, I definitely can find you something in Fleming Island. I think we should start there and look to see what we can find there. And if we need to, we can broaden our areas into other districts that have A-rated schools just like Fleming Island.
Wow, you're the best.
Isn't she? Good job. That was
I'm
awesome.
shaking, I don't like this.
Aw, hug
Okay.
me.
yeah, you don't look nervous.
That
I
was
got
good,
nothing to
though.
add.
That was really good.
All right, anybody have any constructive
Yeah.
ideas as to where we should go with that?
Not even a question. I
No,
thought you did
because
great.
you
A
get,
plus.
you poured that information
Yeah,
on
yeah,
it,
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
with syrup.
Food effective.
Everything else.
Okay, go ahead, let's go with this.
Hi, I have a friend who's a realtor, and she showed us a few homes, but we just don't really know where we want to end up.
Sure.
The market's so crazy right now. Do you have any new listings that we could go see now?
Oh, so let's just back up for a minute. Did you say you are working with a realtor and that she's actually shown you some homes at this time?
Yeah, but I don't like what she's shown me.
I understand that, and I'm sorry that she didn't find anything that you like at this time. However, we have a code of ethics, and at this time, I can't step on her toes. If you...
Why not?
Well, Just for your information. So, really honestly, at this time, that would not be the right thing to do. That is one, your friend, and two, once again, I wouldn't want someone to do that to me. So if you and your friend decide to part ways and you really don't click and find something that works, I'm more than happy to show you listings. Then you can reach out to me, but at this time, I don't think that's the right direction. And I wish you the best of luck, and I hope you find something you love.
She's fired.
Okay. Comments?
Drama.
It's drama.
Yeah, I mean, each person,
Would do it
that's
their
a
own
personal approach.
I know.
It has nothing, I mean, so buyers, in my understanding, are a little bit different than listings. So you're not, unless you have a buyer broker agreement, I would ask that question.
True, yeah, I forgot about that because we don't use
That's
it.
really the only time a buyer has a tie to a realtor. Other
Okay.
than that, it's more handshake agreement.
Okay.
But yeah,
Yeah,
that's the
you
only.
could say like, I think I just watched like the NAR Code of Ethics video or whatever that they just made, and they said this scenario. Do you have an exclusive representation
Right, so
agreement
did they
with that
sign that?
agent? And it could be a verbal, like, I am exclusively working with you as well. It doesn't have to be written. That's not actually in the Code of Ethics. But you would say, do you have an exclusive relationship with another realtor? Not so much. Okay, well, it's gotta be one or the other.
Yeah.
So if you're working with her, I'm not gonna step on her toes, that's what our Code of Ethics says. If you wanna work with me, I'd like you to let her know,
Yeah,
Okay.
just so that we're clear, cause I don't wanna be caught up in,
Right,
whatever, yeah.
Right.
and that's,
Right.
like I said, each way, that's personal, how you do it. I would approach it kind of like Amanda says, like, hey, I'm happy to, but you need to let them know. before
Right, because I
work with
wouldn't.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
right,
like
I don't
that.
want it to
Right.
be confusing for
Correct, and
anyone.
let me ask you now, so in the state of Florida, in Northeast Florida, how many do we have, I know we have single agents,
Single agents.
agents, but do we have a lot of them? Because I remember when we were at Rebar, they were saying that some of them actually do use it, or some of them.
And some transaction brokers use an exclusive,
Right,
brokerage agreement,
We
so
have
it
one.
could be, it just might be your business practice that you like to use that. They have one for single agents and for transaction brokers.
Yeah.
So I would just ask the question, no matter
Okay.
what their relationship is, but like, do you have an exclusive relationship with someone,
because if I were their friend, I'd be pissed.
right? But maybe their friend's not a very good
No,
agent,
and it could
that's
be,
why they came
she
in the
could be
door.
just,
Well, also on that, just saying, maybe buyers don't always aware what's going on.
Correct.
Sellers,
Yeah.
You know, so
That's true.
she might not be knowing she's screwing over her friend. She might be just looking for information. So my first question would kind of be like, are you trying not to be friends with this person anymore?
yeah.
Yeah.
Say, joking.
That's a good segue into
Because she
it.
might not be
Right.
aware of it, and she
Yeah.
might be like, no, why? Yeah, then you,
Right.
because right now you're kind of screwing over your friend, and then she'll find out why, and then all of a sudden she's like, oh, I understand.
Right, right.
Got it.
Right.
So then they're not bothering all of us, waste our time.
I've got another scenario, completely similar subject, but I've had two people that were VA, or they're going to the VA, found them a house, they went to the VA to get their loan because they didn't want to use Watson mortgage. And both times the VA said you had to use the
Yes,
realtor.
happened to me a long time ago.
What is up with that? Isn't
Yeah.
that a code of ethics violation?
No,
The
so
They
yes,
would- The VA doesn't give loans, right, Stan? The
VA guarantee.
They guarantee.
Or-
So-
Sure.
yeah,
it's the bank.
Oh, maybe that is
so
what
they
it's
did that to
like.
me a long time ago. I had the same thing happen and I lost the customer
Yeah, that's
100%.
a bunch of crap.
But Watson now, I don't think Watson at the time did it because it was right when I got first kind of started, but now Watson is competitive with what Navy Federal is offering them. It's a reduction in your commission, you're giving them back your
So you-
money out of your
You
pocket.
could have done that. You could have done
So
that.
that is how they get them, it's because
They
you
say
are
what-
giving your commission to them.
What
And
they're
you
telling
didn't
them
know.
is, if you use our agent, you're gonna get some money back if you work with Sally over here.
Right.
So you're not gonna get that if you go work with Sabina.
Which is a lie.
Right,
So you make your customer aware, we have the Watson Advantage. If you wanna work with me and you want me to represent you, we will match or beat anything they offer. Give it to us in writing, we'll take it to our boss, and
right.
you will be working with me.
But
and
once
you know-
again, you are giving out of your commission, so if you, whatever they're
They'll
offering, remember that it's reduction off of that. So if you get
But
$100, now you're at 50, right?
The 50's still better than.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying, be aware of that fact,
Yeah.
because that's,
That makes sense
What
now,
they're doing.
they're offering money.
And talk to them about military on the move too. That's 20% of the commission, but if the office is sharing in it, to military veterans and stuff like that, you have to do the training, which is now online in the Watson Learning Library.
That's what I do about.
Yeah.
But if you offer that up front, that kind of keeps them on track with you because you're getting back 20% of, so I'll give them an approximate. It's gonna be about $1,000 if you work with me because we value your military service and our network of leading real estate companies in the world and Watson values you and we want to give you back a little incentive to work with us.
And do they get a check or how's that?
Sometimes it's on the Alta and sometimes they get a check.
That's what, you put it on the Alta, so how do they get it then? Do they get it as part of
It
closing?
comes
costs?
off what they're to bring to closing.
Okay, so it
if
comes
it's
off of that.
$1,000, it's
Okay, that's
good
how
job,
it-
lady.
Okay.
I just feel like maybe that's being a little unethical.
I thought it was. too.
Yeah, but they're not a real.
Hi. Oh, you're working for Watson?
Oh, yes, I do.
Oh, how's the market?
Oh, the market is great. But first of all, let me know, are you looking to buy or sell?
I'm looking to buy.
Oh, great.
How's interest rate?
Very interesting. Can I have your phone number and your email address? Because I got a lot of good information to share with you. Maybe we don't have enough time today, we will do that.
Can you just tell me briefly about interest rates? I can give you my phone number and email address in a few minutes.
You say you're looking to buy, right?
Yeah, I'm looking to buy.
Okay, we have a lot of inventory in the market.
Uh-huh.
Very good deal, and you can negotiate price. Very good deal you're going to find in the market.
Very good.
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you my email address, my phone number.
Excellent. And John. And John, you would also.
Smarter to the market.
Yeah.
Okay, smarter to the market.
And then interest rates might vary based on your credit and the program that you're using. I gotta get you with my lender right away.
I should ask her if they got a pre-qualification letter.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, have you been pre-qualified?
Yeah.
Let me put you with Stan and he'll be able to quote the rates today, because they change daily.
Hour.
That's a,
But you
hour.
went straight
Yeah,
to
you
the
went
phone
straight to-
number. I love
You
that.
went straight. Can I have your phone number?
Give me your phone number.
And your email address. Give me both of them.
And I like that
That's
you,
it, I'm never letting go of you.
and I like how you also didn't just go, the market's great, and then go into, you circled back as to what they were looking for. Actually, that was pretty smart, because then you got them talking about them versus you trying to explain blah, 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 blah. You talk, you're trying to ask them questions, so that was actually really good.
That was good.
Yeah.
I have my house on the market.
You have it, okay.
But the agent is sucked. I don't like him.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it sucks?
Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that.
you like a nicer person.
Oh, thanks.
Can I change? You can help me selling the house?
In Watson, we have a code of ethics, which is I cannot cross that code of ethics. But let me ask you, when does your listing expires?
Maybe in 1 month.
1 month.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll give you my card. After your listing expires, if you feel free to give me a call. If you cannot find it, here you go.
Why we don't start today?
Because you are currently, your house is under contract with another agent, and I will have to cross the code of ethics, and I cannot do that.
Okay, I understand. But and it looked like he want to charge me a lot of money. Can you reduce your commission?
Let me, after your contract expires, let me stop by your house and take a look at it, and we'll talk about it later.
But I count on you to charge me less than him.
I cannot answer this question right now.
Okay.
Let's decide after.
Oh, I have another question.
Uh-huh.
My house is a very nice house.
I'm
but
sure.
The roofs get like 22 years old.
Yes.
Because it's nice, I don't think I need to change it to sell the house. What do you think?
Well, let me stop by. Let me make let's see what happens in the future. And if you don't sell your house with this agent, if your listing expires, I can possibly stop by your house and look at your roof, and we can talk about it later. Whether we may need to do a roof inspection. How old is your roof?
22 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Good job, guys. Very good, good job, Brad. You get the Emmy. Good job.
Yeah, he was dogged, wasn't he? He was like, but I want you.
Could she have given
He
her,
pressed me against
her
the
card?
wall.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they come in the door, they come in when you're on floor, they call, they approached you. So we're not gonna like be rude and they can have your information, but
Like,
we're
but-
also not gonna be like,
You could give
yeah,
them your
yeah,
card.
yeah, here's what you do. Call that broker right now, I'll call them for you, I'll tell them you want out, we're gonna fire them today, like that's too much, right? You know what's too much.
That's what I
Yeah.
would do.
So I'm not the only one.
Well, I
So
don't
you
know,
cannot
this is
tell
the
them-
number at Coldwell Banker's
So
broker.
you
I would say
I'll
this.
send it to you.
I would say this, I would say that, you know, emphasize a little bit more than just saying code of ethics to the other person. Why, well, legally binding contract also, but, you know, emphasize why, because otherwise, if I'm in his shoes and you say code of ethics to me, that's the third real estate agent that just said it to me, I'm probably going to the fourth one, the fifth one, until somebody accepts,
Right.
until somebody says yes, because what is code of ethics to that guy? He doesn't give a
Yeah.
crap. So to me, I'd be like, listen, there's rules and there's laws that we have to do as a real estate agent. And with that being said, if somebody does take you on right now while you're listed with another agent, that's pretty shady. And what other shady stuff is he gonna do while he's working your deal, just to make things happen?
That's
That's
good one.
really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's really good.
So, I mean, it just makes him think that, oh, yeah, you know what, that's.
Thank you.
There you go, good job, guys.
So, my wife and I are relocating from New York City to the Jacksonville area within the next 6 months. We aren't familiar with the area. Can you recommend some good neighborhoods?
Well, first understand that as realtors, we're not allowed to have opinions about areas or schools. But let's find out a little.
Talk louder, Michael.
Oh. Okay, as realtors, we're not allowed to have opinions about neighborhoods. But let's find out a little more about what you're looking for. First, what kind of a price range are we talking about?
So, price is not key. We're 300 to 400. We could go a little higher if we need to.
All right. And are you gonna be, working here at some particular location?
No, we're gonna be remote working.
All right, is it important that you're near the beaches or any waterways or anything?
Water's kind of key. Really bigger factors are schools and neighborhoods where our kids can play with other kids.
Okay. Again, we're not allowed to have opinions about schools, but what I'll do is I'm going to send you a list of a website where they have scores for the schools. You can kind of look up and know the kind of schools you want. And does the age of the house matter?
It does. We'd like to live in a newer neighborhood that's, not necessarily completely developed, but where we can see some growth income-wise.
Okay, very good. Well, based on that, we can kind of narrow the areas down to cover what you're looking for.
Perfect.
Good.
Good job.
Yeah.
What is it called? Good job, guys.
Oh, I have a question. You know what, I've never done an auction transaction. What, for anybody in the room, would you recommend maybe attending an in-person auction
What?
first?
Honestly, what I'd suggest, especially like courthouse step auction, unless they've done it before, they don't want any part of it. They're dangerous, they're really risky.
Cameron has a whole story.
Well, on the courthouse steps, don't you have to pay cash?
Yes.
There's some you can actually, I've researched this. You can finance courthouse auctions, but you better be top tier. I mean, you better be right on.
I've done the online auction with the Duval County auction online. I've done that before. Boy, those houses, number one, my experience, had a house, they want $8,000 for it, $8,000. You have to send the auction people your money first, put the money in. I put $35,000 in, just to stand by.
5,000?
Yeah, that's what I put, because you have to have it standing by, sitting there in their little thing. So I put $35,000 in there.
But
House
it
is going for
was only 8,000.
Exactly, that's what it started.
Started.
That's what I
That's
starting
bid
bid
went up.
was $8,000.
Gotcha, gotcha. Like
The
an
ending
auction.
bid was
Oh, right.
$120,000.
Yeah.
And it was a piece of crap house. I mean, because I do a lot of research, I went to the house and it had, condemned signs on it, but the back door was open. So I went in and I took pictures and I'm like, okay, I think I could work with this. And I'm like, $8,000 is okay. That thing went for $120,000. It just kept going up, kept going up, kept going up. I'm thinking, God, please.
Do you
So
owe the
they're
taxes on that, the back
I was
taxes?
gonna say, Judy got some comments about
Right,
liens.
you owe
Okay, when you go by it at the courthouse steps, you better have done a search.
Yes.
And you know what? None of us are title examiners.
Right.
So you have no idea what you're assuming. When you buy it on the courthouse steps, IRS tax liens, dead people. I hate dead people.
Yeah.
Unpaid taxes, look, if taxes are unpaid for over 3 years, then they go to a tax certificate and a tax deed. Then you guys are chasing down those folks as well to pay them. It is not a good deal to ever buy at an auction at where you attend it, unless you really know your stuff.
Not even online, right? I would say.
Nowhere.
Yeah. see,
Nowhere.
that's
I
what
would gear towards the rundown. I would gear towards the wholesalers before I would ever gear towards auctions. If I got that question popped up to me,
Yeah.
I would.
Because you're under the gun to buy it quick, right? With
Right,
those-
but
Yeah.
we'll do a search for $100 for people, but it's not insurable. You can't come back to me and say I missed something, because it's just a search, it's not a title commitment. For $100, what do you get
Yeah.
paid for it? Okay, a lot of investors want to do that with Watson Title, but the minute I say, well, I need your $100 up front, they go running away.
I got a question. I thought people buy tax certificates because then if the owner doesn't pay their taxes, the people that bought the certificate gets the house.
It's a tax deed.
Yeah,
You get a tax deed after 3 years. But know this, even though you've got a tax deed, say you get that tax deed in 3 years, and you call me up and you say, Judy, I got this property I got on a tax deed, I want to sell it. You can't. It's not marketable title. You have to do a quiet title suit when you do a tax deed. And those are upwards of $3,500. They're time consuming.
Jackie had that one time.
It's
I
called a
remember
what?
A quiet.
Quiet title. The minute a property is sold via a tax deed, which is 3 years after the tax certificates are issued, that property then, yeah, sure, you own it via the tax deed, but try trying to sell it. You gotta do it, you gotta own it for, how many years did,
No, but I remember when Jackie went through this, Judy had, this
It
is why
was
we
like
have
7,
our
right,
family
Judy?
of services.
Isn't it
Yes.
7 years? You gotta
Thank
own
you,
the
Stan
tax
and
certificate?
Julie.
And
I'm
thank you.
Varies
thinking
by
5 or
state.
7, but
I think it
It
is
was a
7 in
long
Florida.
time.
I don't remember what I used to
Yeah.
anymore.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
It
So-
varies by state.
Right, but I think Florida's 7.
I've never had like.
What's the question?
Oh, you're
What was the
not.
question?
What's the question?
Well, how long
How long?
before you can resell it when, if you have a tax deed?
Without doing a quiet title, where I can.
I think,
like a
I think you
long
can force sale and sell, I think it's 7, I don't know. So, I remember my parents did this years ago.
Bottom line is, again, the tax stuff, it's very complicated.
It is.
So-
Yeah, I had a customer who used to buy tax certificates.
Yes.
I'd never heard of it until she told me about it, because her dad used to do it, so then she started doing it. But I didn't know any details.
There's actually a software program out there, people just sit at home and do that all over the country
They
all
do.
day long.
Yep.
And you just sit back and you hold all these tax certificates, and the idea of the whole thing is, hopefully they're gonna come clean and pay you off. You're like, well, no, you plus 12%. And if you do enough of it, it's a good way to make money. The intention is never to really buy the house, the intention is for them to come buy you back out, to get their house back.
Oh, the owners.
Yes.
That makes sense.
Well, they have up
Your
to
whole
3 years to
what
pay
you
off
think
the
you're sitting
taxes,
on is
right,
gold.
their house,
Yeah.
redeem their.
That's the intention. Yeah, and you
guys-
have
Good
hundreds,
job, guys.
hundreds.
So, okay. I saw this house online and it says for auction. How does that work? And I'm hoping to buy a foreclosure or something really cheap. Can you help me?
Absolutely. So let's start with auction. Is it an online auction or an in-person auction that you found online?
In person.
Okay, so typically those are a little difficult. They're not impossible, but what we do is you have to have pre-approval or cash. You will have to have a significant binder, and typically there's a small fee associated with the auctioneer. So it's what I've seen is 3 to 5% auction fees plus your down payment plus your financing ready to go. They're absolute headaches. They're doable, but they're absolute headaches. I would advise you, if you haven't done them, to do your homework before you go to one. Now, as far as foreclosures go, we're not in the market where there's a ton of foreclosures that give you a great deal. There are some, however, the deal-wise, it's not significant, more so than a standard on-market home.
Okay. So you suggest really that it's not going to be a big deal or a good deal for me, whichever way I go there.
There's not going to be one deal better or auction or foreclosure. What I would say is let's find what style of home you're looking for, whether it's a fixer-upper or an investment style property, single-family duplexes, quadplexes, whatever you're looking for. Let's narrow that down to that search, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, very good, thanks.
Good job, guys.
We're on Candid Camera.
Yeah.
I'm the customer.
You
okay.
are the customer.
Hi, I'm interested in buying this condo I saw the other day in Fleming Island. I hear the great schools are great there. I have some kids going into kindergarten. I've been pre-approved with Poughkeepsie. Who come up with
New York.
Poughkeepsie? Yeah, for $300,000 on a conventional home. Can you help me get started?
Yes, I can.
What do we do next?
Well, we already got started, so. Are we good?
Here's my pre-approval
All right, so
letter.
here you go, Stan. So Stan, it sounds like you already really did get started. You put the pre-approval in, so you got the pre-qualification for $300,000 through Poughkeepsie. Now, I'm not too familiar with Poughkeepsie, but I'm not a loan officer or anything like that, so I really don't know rates or loans or anything like that. But I have this really great guy at the office whose name is Stan. So at the Watson office.
Gotta be a good guy,
Stan-
same name.
From what I hear, I mean, I heard Mark's a little better, but Stan is there. So, and we can get your information to Stan, because I understand you're done with Poughkeepsie, but and I'm just, as you know, my background, because I told you, I just got into the business of real estate. I was in the car business for 8 years, and people would come to me all the time with a loan from Navy Federal or USA, and my loan officer there would beat their rates or get them a higher loan for a less percentage and would help them out. So why don't we get your information to Stan? He can look over it for you. And when he looks over it, maybe he can get you more money, less rate, that you can get a better house for whatever. So he can get you, let's get that information.
So you're saying use a local lender?
So I'm not saying that, I'm just saying let's Stan look at it, because I don't want to give you all the answers that I don't know about the loans and stuff like that. But while Stan's doing that, we're gonna double team it, because while Stan's doing that, I'm gonna help you out on the other side. And I'm gonna look at the condos in Fleming Island and see what's available. I'm also gonna look at some surrounding areas, because obviously you want a good school system. So we also have St. John's, which is right across the river, that's #1 in the state. So I'll look what's available and spread out the area just a little bit for you. If you really just want to stay in Fleming Island, I can look at that, but I'll also give you some other options.
Sounds like a plan. And I said condo, but single family house, I was just trying to keep the price down.
Okay, yeah, no problem.
That's why I said.
We can open up the search. I can do townhouse, I can do condo, I can do single family houses. I'll print out a whole list of everything. And you know what, I'll try to stay around that $300,000 mark, that price range for you, so we don't get too crazy on like, here's 75 listings and stuff like that. So I'll try to keep it around that price range for you, even though Stan might be able to help you out, like I said, a little bit
Yeah,
better.
give me his contact info. We probably need to update
No
this
problem. I'll
anyway.
text it to you right now.
I see it's like 6 months. It's kind of dated.
I'm
so.
sure it missing. Jerome Powell woke up this morning and sneezed, and now the interest rates went up 2% this morning. So, you never know how it's going to go.
Actually, he sneezed at a quarter of a point yesterday. Rates went down on the mortgage side, guys. So, yeah. All right, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
You were very smooth. I would point out that right now we have the 250. You got
Second
like all the
look.
way there, and we probably won't
For the
always
second
have
look.
that.
Second look.
But you said let Stan give you a second look, see if he can beat it,
Right.
and if he can't or he can, right now we're even giving you a $250 Home Depot gift card. So incentive, I'm gonna find you the most money and the best deal.
And I don't know if everybody heard me, but you said Jerome Powell sneezed and rates went up. Actually, he did sneeze and rates, he jacked up the Fed rate yesterday, another quarter point as expected. It was already built into the markets. So mortgage rates actually got better after that happened.
Yeah, okay.
So don't say when they do that, mortgage rates get higher. No,
Yeah.
your credit card gets higher.
Yeah.
What are they right now?
Yeah.
Do you know offhand?
Well, you could be in the fives.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
good.
depending on credit scores and
Okay.
how much you put down, yes.
Okay.
And government rates are much lower than Fannie Freddie. Just keep that in mind, because it's government insured, it's not private mortgage insurance.
And opportunity loans,
So,
are
yeah,
those
yeah.
subsidized or is
Opportunity
loan
loans, I'll be right blunt with you, we broker those to Hancock Whitney
Mhm.
Bank. They had a CRA, got their hands slapped, so they had to come up with a product to not be fined, get back in good graces with the feds. So they came up with a product and they came to Watson to say, hey, you guys have a lot of exposure. Can y'all help us with this? And they set those rates daily.
So
But
they're
are they better than
competitive.
market
It's a
rates?
bond.
They're
Yes,
competitive.
they're still better than market rates.
See, that's great.
So
But isn't it a Florida bond program? The
that's something
Florida
totally
adopted
different.
city.
That's something
But we
totally
have that
different.
too.
That's down payment assistance. We have several.
What's that one called?
Well, you have Florida Bond, which is $10,000.
I thought it was a
And then you
bond.
have a Hometown Heroes, which is a different down payment assistance, and that's 5% up to 25,000.
That's
Oh,
the
what's the
hometown
one
hero.
called where you get 5% of the sale price?
Hometown Heroes,
Hometown Heroes?
which is,
You gotta be a veteran.
No.
Or a nurse, or a
Or
chiropractor.
acupuncturist.
Or a teacher.
there's
Acupuncturist
over
on that
50
list?
occupations.
Yeah.
50?
Over 50, yeah.
Okay, there's a lot on there.
And that's a down payment assistance. That's a silent second mortgage.
Yeah.
Zero interest, zero payment. You pay it back when the home sells. Obviously, you're gonna sell, when you sell the home or do a refinance, title's gonna happen. They're gonna pick up this lien. It's gonna get paid
And
off.
you can use that for
And
down
they always
payment
forget
and-
about
Yeah,
it.
it's gonna get paid. Oh, no, what are you talking about?
Yeah. But the opportunity loan, you don't pay back, that's the best one. The opportunity, you
That's-
don't pay back and you.
Correct, that's
and-
100%
But you don't get
financing.
the help anymore, right? They took away the $5,000 in.
No, you still get a
assistance.
down payment
Oh,
assistance.
You can with the opportunity loan? Oh, I thought Mark had
But
said
not-
that. got rid of.
The opportunity loan is census tract specific, so it has to be a certain census tract.
No, I know that, but I thought that you could get 50.
A lot of Oakley